Imagine a world where stories are more powerful than facts, where myths drive empires, and where machines make decisions we can't control. This isn't the plot of a sci-fi movie. It's the reality we've been living since the dawn of humanity. Welcome to Nexus, a brief history of information networks from the Stone Age to AI by the visionary thinker Yuval Noah Harari. This book is a journey through time, exploring how information shaped humanity, from ancient campfire stories to the all-powerful AI networks of today. What if I told you that information isn't about truth, but about connection? Stick around as we unravel how myths built civilizations, how machines are reshaping the future, and the chilling possibility of a silicon curtain dividing the world. Let's dive in. Picture this. Thousands of years ago, a small group of humans sits huddled around a fire. They aren't just sharing a meal, they're sharing stories, myths about gods, spirits, and the forces of nature. These tales weren't random, they were the glue that held tribes together. Yuval Noah Harari argues that these early stories were humanity's first information networks. These myths gave people something bigger than themselves to believe in. They created trust, which was essential for cooperation. Small tribes grew into massive societies, not because humans were the strongest or the fastest, but because they could share and believe in collective stories. From these fireside tales, the seeds of civilization were planted. Fast forward a few thousand years, humanity discovers a new kind of magic: writing. Stories no longer needed to die with the storytellers. With the invention of scripts and symbols, knowledge could be preserved across generations. Imagine the first laws etched into stone, the religious scriptures that promised salvation, the records of trade deals and conquests. Writing became humanity's memory. Harari shows us how this simple innovation expanded the power of information networks. It allowed empires to grow, religions to spread, and civilizations to flourish. But here's the twist. These networks didn't care if the stories were true. They only cared about one thing: connection. Enter the printing press, a machine that revolutionized the way information flowed. Books and newspapers began reaching the masses. For the first time, knowledge wasn't limited to elites or religious authorities. The power of information networks shifted. The printing press gave birth to the Enlightenment, an era where people questioned long-standing beliefs. Science thrived and revolutions began. Harari explains how these networks destabilized traditional power structures. With more people accessing information, the old gatekeepers, the church, the monarchy, lost their monopoly. But here's the catch. As information spread, so did misinformation. Harari introduces the idea of the naive view of information. This view assumes that more information automatically leads to truth and wisdom. But does it? He argues that the more information we have, the harder it becomes to separate signal from noise. Think about today. News feeds flood us with headlines. Social media connects billions of people, but also spreads conspiracy theories and lies. The naive view is seductive. We want to believe that data leads to clarity, yet often it leads to confusion. Let's talk about myths and delusions. Harari argues that myths, whether they're about gods, nations, or ideologies, are the ultimate connectors. They bring people together even when they're based on falsehoods. Take nationalism, for example. It's a belief in borders, flags, and shared heritage. These ideas aren't rooted in biological truths, yet they've inspired revolutions, wars, and alliances. Even destructive ideologies like Nazism united millions under shared myths. Harari's point is sharp. Networks thrive on belief, not necessarily on truth. Fast forward again to today. Machines and algorithms have joined the game. Welcome to the era of the Inorganic Network. Unlike human networks built on stories, these networks process vast amounts of data without emotion, without bias, or so we think. Algorithms decide what you see on your feed, which route your car takes, and even how stocks are traded. These inorganic networks are efficient, but they're also opaque. Harari asks a chilling question. Can we trust machines to act in our best interest? Or are we creating tools that will one day control us? This brings us to AI and its impact on governance. Democracies thrive on transparency, debate, and citizen participation. But what happens when AI makes decisions too complex for humans to understand? Harari warns that democracies might struggle to maintain accountability in an AI-driven world. On the flip side, totalitarian regimes could use AI to solidify power. Surveillance, propaganda, and control could reach levels never seen before. Imagine a government that knows not just what you say, but what you think, thanks to predictive algorithms. Harari introduces the concept of the Silicon Curtain. Just as the Iron Curtain divided the world during the Cold War, the Silicon Curtain could create a new global divide. On one side, societies might use AI to enhance freedom and creativity. On the other, AI could become a tool for oppression. This divide isn't hypothetical, it's already happening. Democracies are grappling with regulating AI ethically, while authoritarian regimes are using it for mass control. The future could see a fractured world where technology deepens divides rather than unites us. Harari reminds us that information has always been humanity's glue. From ancient gods to modern algorithms, our networks have thrived on shared beliefs. But the challenge of the future is this: can we balance connection with truth? Can we build networks that unite us without delusion? So what are the key lessons from Nexus? First, information isn't about truth, it's about connection. Second, more information doesn't guarantee wisdom. Third, AI is no longer just a tool, it's an independent force shaping our future. And finally, the choices we make today, whether to regulate AI, protect freedoms, or fight misinformation, will define the world for generations to come. Yuval Noah Harari's Nexus leaves us with a sobering thought. Information is both our greatest strength and our greatest challenge. As we embrace the power of AI, we must ask ourselves, are we using information to empower humanity, or are we surrendering to the very networks we've built?